Good day, folks. I'm here with Eon, and he's going to tell us how he got his top 16 victory in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Regional recently. Well, let's go over the deck list. First of all, what was your main theme of your deck?
I played Ubel with the Fiend Smith engine. It's too good. Fiend monsters go together.
Bloodhaven boys.
Ubel. I made that card when I was a child. When I first played it, was a terrible card. Now it's good.
It's like the greatest card ever.
That is awful. All right, so let me see. What was in your? Let's start with your side deck. What was in your side deck?
Side.
I don't know what was in the side deck.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah. What was in the side deck?
We can switch it up. Let's switch it up and start with the side deck. I did 41 in the main, 15 side. All right, for the side deck,
41 cards in your main deck.
In main deck, 41. I couldn't decide on 40, so I just slapped the extra card.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right, for the side deck, we went the MVP Mannequin Cat. All right,
Mannequin Cat.
Mannequin Cat was so crazy this weekend because it goes with Chaos Hunter. So whenever you play against banished decks, whenever they shifter you, you just thrown into Beckoning Beast, and then you make a rank 2 double normal summon, and then you just Mannequin Cat, and then you cheat this out, resummon your shifter, summon this. Sometimes I just don't get shifter. Like one guy, he just flipped the banished thing, dimensional DDG, and I just made Mannequin Cat, and as soon as he summoned his first Malice monster, I just triggered Mannequin Cat, and I summoned Chaos Hunter from the deck, and his deck didn't work.
Okay.
So Mannequin Cat, I played a Chaos Hunter. I play Double Cross Out because this deck...
Cross Out Designator?
Yes, Cross Out Designator. Most people know this card is like, when your opponent activates a card, you can banish a card from your deck with the same name, and then negate that card's effect for the rest of the turn.
Okay.
This is primarily for the Charmies, the Mall Charmies, whether it's Fualos or Pirellia. Sometimes I don't even use it on Pirellia if I don't have a normal summon. I'll just let the Pirellia resolve, and then I'll just keep this in case they have like a second hand trap.
Okay. All right.
So that's
so we're running 2 of those.
Two of those.
Cat. Okay.
Double Lancia for the Malice deck. Because I figured like if I'm doing the Chaos Hunter Mannequin Cat thing, I can pair this with these two, so it's like 4. I have like essentially like more copies of the same card to go against the Ballast deck.
There's always an option after you play game 1, right? Just to make sure to see what's going on.
Yeah. Also, one thing that came out in my final round, I did the Mannequin Cat. He summoned Firewall Dragon, and then it's a light, so I summoned Lancia from the deck. It was crazy. He was like, bro, not like this. I played a Book of Eclipse because Marco convinced me to play this. I just didn't.
That's the zombie one?
Nah, that's Book of Life. This is Book of Eclipse. This is like Book of Moon on steroids right here.
Okay.
This is just activate it, flip all cards on all monsters that can be flipped face down. Face down at the end of the turn, they reflip, and your opponent draw a card equal to how many cards is flipped. But 9 times out of 10, just get rid of them so they get no draw in the end phase.
Okay.
Okay, and then we got Pirellia. This is just good against the Malice, not the Malice, the Rizal deck, because they summon so much from hand. This card, you draw a card every time your opponent summons from hand. So, broken. I did double D barrier because I figured like if you can pair enough cards, even like you pairing this, and this against the Rizal deck, you should be fine. This like if you draw one of these, you should play while you're playing Ubel, you should be able to win.
How'd you come up with this?
I don't know where I got the math from. I think I got it from Brandon. He just told me math. If you play these amount of cards, he told me you're likely to draw one of them, and that's what happened this weekend. You just have to draw one of them. Of course, It sucks sometimes when you draw one of these and then your opponent just ash it, but at least you know you got one of your go second cards to at least try to fight. Put them on, do they have ash? You know what it is. Cosmic Cyclones, 2 in the side because I'm scared of back row decks. And I just didn't want to show up without it.
That's fair.
Last, Red Resonator, which has a life gaining effect. Yeah, Red Resonator, when it's special summon, you can target another monster you control and gain life points equal to its original attack. Not once per turn, but hard once per turn, by the way. So you can resummon it, gain some more. It also have the normal summon effect. When you normal summon, you can summon a level 4 or lower from your hand. So it's like Marauding Captain in a sense.
Okay. So let's see how this main deck works now.
The main deck is where it got a little different. All right, so of course the engine, triple Beckoning Beast, triple Lotus, double Spirit, double Ubel. I'm still playing 2 OG Ubel. Most people cut it down to 1. I can see the argument for it, but I play 2 because I play Escape and I want to do little cool things. 1 big Ubel, the Ubel Incarnate. This is pretty much it for the Ubel engine. And
all right, so I remember these cards very much so when I was a kid.
Yes, they still do the same thing they did back then.
They were not good.
They were decent.
No one used them.
They were decent.
I would summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon over this. What are we doing here?
It's a new day. You could summon Blue Eyes the next, I think it's like 2 sets of it from now. You could summon Blue Eyes again next turn. It's kind of crazy. We got the Featspeak Engine, 3 Engraver, 1 Lacrima. I did the 1 Lurry, and I also only 1 Lurry. This is Featspeak. There is a world where you can get away with 2 Engravers because you really. The theory was like if you play 2 and 1, Engraver is just like Moon out the extra deck because we play Moon. If this gets you to your Featspeak combo, then it's just an extra Engraver at that point. So you can really get away with this equals Engraver Lacrima, the whole Featspeak combo. So you can get away with two, but I wanted 3. This is like my test regional. It worked out, 3 worked out, and if I decide to make more cuts because I want to play Droll moving forward, I want to play Droll. I didn't play Droll or Nibiru. I'm not gonna play Nib, but I want to play Droll. And if I'm gonna make a cut, it's probably gonna be one of the Engravers for that.
Who helped you with this deck? I need to know this. Who helped you with this?
I'll tell you that afterwards. We got 2 Squirmers. Moving forward, I might just play 1 Squirmer because it's the same thing with Engravers. Like when you search off of Nightmare Pain, you're usually searching this and like you don't need it again. So Squirmer has an effect. If you control a Fiend, you can just special it from your hand, and then it has an optional effect to pop a U-Bell monster, which you pop a U-Bell and float into another U-Bell. So you essentially always have 2 bodies. They also have a grave effect. It's like you banish it from the grave, you can summon a 0/0 Fiend from grave, which is kind of nuts. So if you're making cuts, you can probably play 1 of this and 2 Engraver if you want to cut for 2 if you want to add to the deck. We play the 1 Shavar. Card is limited for a reason. Card is crazy, by the way. Card helps you dodge Imperm and hand traps their target. And that's it for like as far as engine and moving. Hand trap lineup is going to be I play double ogre, triple full op.
You play a lot of monsters.
Yes. These monsters all do real things.
Okay.
Like one of these monsters require your opponent to respond with like at least 3 cards out of their 5-card hand.
Okay. I can see
I play triple Wallows and triple Ash. And I do play Imperm. That's my other hand trap. So I went with the theory like Ash, Imperm, and Ogre. No other hand trap really stops anything else besides maybe Droll. That's why I said I'm moving forward. I want to play Droll. If your opponent can play through these, then they were already ahead of you as far as like what they have going on. So, and I wanted to stick close to the 40 bill. So that's why I wanted to play 40, but I want to play 41. So that ended up happening. Throne, of course, card is God card. This card helps you recycle your 1-of Phantom. This card also helped me win when my opponent Unicorn banished my 1 Phantom, and then he made Typhon bounced. It's in my I put it in my vlog. You check it out on my channel, Rax TCG.
I watched that earlier. I did watch it.
So when this card was up, he made Typhon. He bounced my U-Bell Incarnate back to my hand, which is a level 11. And this card says when a U-Bell monster leaves the field because of your opponent's effect, you can add a U-Bell monster from grave or banishment that's 1 level higher or lower. And then add it to your hand, then you can summon it, ignoring its summon conditions. So he bounced to level 11, so I could get a 9, not a 9, I could get a level 10 back and then cheat out summon. So I added Spirit back from the grave, and then I resummoned it, then I searched Pain, and then the next turn it was pretty much over.
He was hurt.
This card was insane. The 1 Featspeak sank. Most people play double track. I play one on one because there's times where this card is full combo by itself. You do this, you get Featspeak combo gets U-Bell combo, and it just does everything. Same thing with this.
Why not 3?
The reason being, this card, you can only activate it when you control no monsters or only Featspeak monsters. So you get to summon a light Fiend token, and just goes into Featspeak combo. And this is just Lurry finesse. You know how this goes.
Fair enough.
There's no right or wrong answer for whether you want to play double track or 1-on-1. I just prefer 1-on-1. I don't think one is better than the other, but
understandable.
The 1 call by because I like winning game 1s. If I can stop the Fualos, I win. This deck feels like if your opponent don't have Fualos, you win. All right, so yeah, last is 2 opening gates. Most people play 3. I play 2, but 2 is only. I feel like you only need this because you can only activate this card once per turn. So if you have extra copies, they're dead in your hand.
Fair.
So 2, 3 is fine too. 2 Pain. Most people still play 1. I play 2. Every time my opponent go SP or Cosmic this, and then I go Summon Spirit and search a second one, they always be like, yeah, bro, you're better than me. This card is still Rhoda. Pop a Dark Monster, and then you search Lotus. Basically, you search Lotus. This card is basically Reinforcement Army. It's so many games I started off activate this card, and then I was like, effect. and then just search Lotus, and then I started my combo. Then the one Unchained Trap, I like Escape over Abomination. I think that's what it's called because this card lets you beat like this is like removal. When you do this and you pop your soul and pop a card they control, this helps you dodge imperms and stuff too. It's crazy. I like this. And let's go to the extra deck.
Okay, so now we can break into this extra deck here. Are you using any fusion monsters?
Yes.
Okay, let's start with those ones.
Let's start with the fusion monster. So we're gonna start with the GOAT. He's limited for a reason.
What is this?
You can cheat this guy out by shuffling back a Ubel monster and a 0/0 fiend from your grave or hand or field. So usually when you link them off and they're in the grave, you just shuffle them back and summon this guy.
Okay.
And GOAT Desiree, she's just in the gate. She's broken. Area Leader, I think a lot of other Fiend Smith decks can't play this card because we just play a whole Fiend deck. So this card on summon, you get to send a Fiend monster to the grave. So if your opponent ever stops your Ubel combo, when you get into your Fiend Smith combo and you choose some of this, you just send the Ubel monster to the grave, and then you can use this to resummon it. So your opponent, it's hard to really know where to hand trap this deck. Necro Quip, this card, the Fiend Smith Bridge lets you draw a card. Fiend Smith Link sequence lets you fusion summon Moon MVP. Any two monsters become this card and becomes full Fiend Smith combo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Link 1 summons Fiend Smith for the deck. Link 3. This card is cuttable. I didn't summon this card not once this weekend.
What was the reason why?
So this card comes up. It's one of those things where like, if your opponent plays like a monster that's big, like a 5,000 attack points, this can make your Desiree get bigger than 5K.
Okay.
And then you can punch over it in battle. Never came up. It also does piercing damage too. Never came up. There's also the finesse where you make it, link off Desiree in sequence, make this, and then you quick effect resummon. So in your opponent's turn, you can do it, resummon Desiree in your opponent's turn. Never came up. That card is cuttable. Mudcracker summons any fiend from the grave. This card is insane. This card is low key, borderline bannable. Yama. This card is definitely bannable. This card says, search a Ubel monster. When a card is destroyed in your field, you can banish it to summon any fiend monster from your grave or hand. So many times I'm playing against a Malice deck and destruction happened, I banished and I summoned Chaos Hunter from my hand. And they were like, whoa, you had it in your hand. Chaos Hunter just wins the game. Chaos Hunter was the MVP.
Wow.
There's even a time where I had Spirit in my hand and I popped, summoned the Spirit from hand, search the pain. It's so many ways to do the same thing that your opponent is just like, how do I hand trap this deck?
So they don't know when to activate that. Okay, fair.
Link 2 Solar Rage. This card lets me use one of your monsters and this card to link summon into a dark monster, which is usually you use your opponent's monster and this card to summon an SP, and SP on play banish another card. So this combo is kind of crazy.
SP was nice. Okay.
Then we got Caesar. This card might be bannable because there's so many ways to summon level 6 fiend monster. It requires 2 level 6 fiend monster. You can use this. You can use Engraver. You can use Shavara. And then, like, just so you know, this card can summon back level 6 from graves. This card can summon level 6 from graves or hand. So you can always summon this guy. And then it's not once per turn when your opponent will activate a card to special summon, you detach a material and negate and destroy. Last card for Rudris. I made this card one time today. It's because I finally figured out, since Niagara, YCS Niagara, I finally figured out how to do the full God combo when your opponent throws hand traps in you. I finally figured it out how to end on this, and this through like 3 hand traps. I finally figured it out, and I finally got it. But I made it one. And this was the deck changes. The only change I feel like is guaranteed to make, I'm definitely going to cut the Link 3. This guy, I'm cutting this, and it's between Typhon and Almirage.
So you're cutting this guy. You didn't like this one, never used it.
Yeah, never summoned that guy. All right, so the reason why Almirage makes sense is because when you normally summon this and then you search gates, if you have a second gates, it's sometimes it's like a dead card in your hand. But if you link this off for Almirage and you activate this, you can use this effect, pitch a card from your hand and resummon this, and then now you have 2 monsters and you just go into full Fiendsmith combo through whatever. So Almirage is definitely an option. Typhon is also, this is getting cut, and Typhon. And maybe if I decide to cut Escape and play Abominable, I'll probably play one and play the Typhon as the second one. So everything else can stay the same, all of this. So now what makes this deck work is like your side-in pattern is insane. So of course, when you're going second, if you're going against a shifter deck, You side out the Necro Equip, and then you side into the Mannequin Cat. That's every time I side against my opponent, I side out one of this because you have 2 of this and 2 more in your deck.
Okay.
Going second, I always side out Call by the Grave. People always keep it in. I don't. If your opponent already made their board, that card does nothing. You side out 1 Saint, you side out the Trap, and you side out 1 Engraver and 1 Squirmer. All right, so siding pattern, this is all like, no matter what, I always side these 6 out because this does nothing going into your opponent's board. I feel like if my opponent already made the board, this card is useless.
Fair enough.
And then this, you can survive with 2, you can survive with 1, you can survive with 2 in your deck because you still got 2 opening gates in your deck. And those 6 usually comes out for like, it depends on the matchup. It usually comes out for something like against Rizel, you're gonna do this.
Okay.
Like if I'm going second, it's gonna be those, and I'm probably gonna just leave these in because nothing else is worth siding in. Going second, so 9 times out of 10, if it's against Rizel, I side these 4 in, and I probably keep the Squirmer and definitely those, and then I'll decide between one of these. Probably is gonna be Engraver, and then it's gonna be those 4. Against the Malice deck, of course, you want to. I usually do one of this because it doesn't make sense. And of course, you side in the combo for if they have the thing, and then that, and then you side those in like to go second, and then you take out same set few cards, and then you try to work it from a different angle. So, and not these against Malice don't make sense. But yeah, that's the siding pattern. That's the deck profile. Changes probably Amaraj or Typhon. That's it.
So, quick question about your matchups. The ones, the most, I guess, notable ones. Which ones did you find that you were in? They had you scraping and scrambling in. Which ones were you?
It's always the Rizel deck because if you don't open a hand trap against the Rizel deck, you still got to fight against Detonator and if they play the Fiendsmith card, the Caesar.
I won 12 hand traps, right?
Was it 12?
I think it was 12. I counted.
It might have been 12 in the main, and these are technically hand traps. These are in the set, but they're like for specific matchups. All right. But like the Rizel deck always does that, but that's because the Fiendsmith card makes Caesar. If they make Caesar is a little hard for me because I need the special summon in order to break your board. And if I can stop him from making Caesar, like hit the Fiendsmith cards and tell him just play Rizel, I guarantee you I can win. But if Caesar is just annoying. They think it's a Detonator. The Detonator has 2 pops, and because they would probably have 3 materials, so it's 2 pops. And if they have the fill spell, that's 1 negate. They got to give up. So you really just play against 3 interruptions. And like if you time it right, you can beat them. If you just throw random stuff at them, and they're just gonna use their interaction, so you just win. But the Caesar is what does most of the work. But we're gonna be at Philly Regional next week and probably make some changes.
Take the same deck, just a little.
Yeah, but Richmond, I'll play Salad.
Salad?
I will.
Is it bad yet?
Take money right now, bro.
Let's do it. $20 right now.
All right, so we're gonna have a quick money match here. Ian Moore is gonna run it against Rax for $20. All right, we'll get back to this one and then finish this up here. Then we're gonna finish talking to Ian here about the remainder of his matches. And yeah, wow, a money match right here, thrown in the air. This is wild.
Hey, Sean, you got